You have 2 pages to convince your readers to agree with you about what the most pressing issue that faces America today may be. This task is impossible unless you develop an effective thesis statement. In fact, I would suggest that much of the writing that you do, and much of the communication that you do, is impossible without an effective thesis statement. What do I mean by effective? Well, I'm talking about a thesis statement that actually helps you do the writing. During the brainstorming, pre-writing session, and during the revision aspect of your writing, a thesis statement will give energy and focus to the writing that you are doing. There are some common pitfalls that writers fall into when working with a thesis statement. The first is that their thesis statement is either too large or too narrow. It may be the case that the largest, most difficult problem facing America today is credit. If you try in 2 pages to convince us that credit and credit misuse is the biggest problem, you're not going to be able to even begin to touch on how that has impact on our nation. You could write entire books about the role of credit in the problems of our nation. Instead, get more concrete, more detailed as you work with your thesis statement. Don't go with credit. Try a lack of available credit for students. That narrows your thesis statement down, and now you might be able to touch on that in 2 pages. The next problem that students have with their thesis statements is they don't actually create thesis statements. They create a fact, and they try to use facts in place of a thesis statement, or they try to just put an opinion in place. Cars are bad. It's a start. Cars are bad as a start, but that's just an opinion. Cars cause pollution. That's a start also, but it's just a fact. There's concrete data to back that up. Whether it's good or bad, who knows? If you want to combine those 2 statements together, cars are bad because they cause pollution, now you're getting someplace. You want to have a thesis statement that gives you something to work with. Some place to go in your paper. Saying that cars are bad is too wishy-washy. There's 1,000 different reasons why cars may be bad. You want to look for your prime reason why cars are bad, and use that to back up. Use all the rest of the paper to find reasons to back that one up. Okay. If you simply put a fact in place, you're going to have 1,000 different directions to go as to what to do with that fact. To write an effective thesis statement, find an opinion and find a main fact, and plant those suckers together, and that will give you a strong, effective thesis statement. It is your opinion with the main piece of reasoning tied in together, and once you have found that, don't just leave it be. When you're writing, work on revising it, come back to your thesis statement over and over again. In fact, you may find that you come up with a general thesis statement, you start writing your paper, by the time you get to the end of your paper, during the revision process, you may find that you need to take that last paragraph that you've written, pull your end statements from there, transplant them at the top of your paper as a new thesis statement. Your thinking will have evolved by the time you've written 2 pages. Don't be afraid to go ahead and take another look at where you're at. Just take a step back, find your big picture, and find the one piece of information that you want to communicate most emphatically to all of us, and that would be your thesis statement. This has been a wonderful time, a great class. It's been very effective, and I want to thank all of you for participating. I think the discussions that I've seen have been fantastic, and I look forward to reading your papers. Thank you.